Welcome to the Cosmic Goodie Bag. My name is Carla Cherry. I am your host. We are talking with spiritual seekers about cosmic theories, their personal path, and expertise. Our mission is to help people expand their consciousness and their awareness and provide tools to help them find their personal power. Do you want some personal power? I'm tired of watching superhero movies. Don't you want to have some little bit of that for yourself? It is ascension times, people. We'll be talking ETs, multidimensional beings, parallel universes. We cover it all. It's all in the bag. Why am I doing this? I don't know. Sometimes it's the red pill. Sometimes it's the blue pill. Sometimes you just slip and fall down the rabbit hole and you get a timeshare there. Hey everybody, thank you so much for joining me. Appreciate all the love on social media. Super excited to share this interview with you today. E is a light channeler. She's a light language channeler. I've always been fascinated with the idea of just sort of turning your body over and letting the message come through from other dimensions. She channels like a whole group, so fascinating stuff. Can't wait to share it with you. I'll just leave with that. Strap in. We're going for a ride. E is on an epic journey of spiritual expansion, here to assist others in their greater awakening. She channels multidimensional beings, which among them are the Pleiadians, the Guardians, and Chiron. Her channeling first came through art as symbols and later developed into light language using her voice and hands. E and her team of multidimensional guides provide healing, fifth dimensional DNA light body activation through the language of light, consultancy, workshops, and private channeling sessions. Welcome, E, to the Cosmic Goodie Bag.
Thank you, Osiris. Thank you for inviting me on.
Yes, I'm so glad that you're here. Okay, so first I just want to say we met at Contact in the Desert a few years ago, and I just remember just upon meeting you, I said, "So what are you up to?" And you responded with, "I'm helping put together the Ufology World Congress." And I was like, "What?" What does that mean? Like, what am I doing with my life? Like, you're just like this young. To me, you seem young. So I was like, which doesn't matter. Age doesn't matter. I get it. But I was like, World Congress? What is that? So we have to talk about that and then also move beyond that, because I know you've done so much more after that. So, but let's start with, where'd you grow up?
Where did I grow up?
Yes.
Okay, so I grew up in England, in Kent, which is southeast England, the county just below London. Yeah, so I spent the first 21 years of my life there, pretty much.
And then how did you get to Spain, or what brought you to Spain? Barcelona, right?
Yeah, I'm in Barcelona now. Sorry, it's like thunder and lightning outside. So the room might flash up a minute. So I came to Barcelona after I finished university. I participated in an ayahuasca ceremony that, like, once I finished uni, I was kind of led on this journey of synchronicity after synchronicity in England over a period of about 3 or 4 months. And that led to this ayahuasca ceremony. And ayahuasca basically came through and said, you need to travel and teach. And Barcelona was the place she sent me to.
Oh, wow.
First, yeah.
Where did you do the ayahuasca? You were in England when you did that?
Yeah.
Because I talked to a woman who did it in Peru, and like the jungles of Peru, and it was very dramatic, like going through the rivers. Like, what was the setting like for you? Was it just among friends, or was it like a sacred ceremony? Or
Yeah, it was a ceremony. It was really beautiful. I think there was about 12 or 13 of us, so the number was good. But it was in the countryside. I think it was in Sussex or Surrey. It was quite close to where I'm from. But yeah, it was really beautiful.
How do you feel like that works? Like the plant reveals to you what you're supposed to be doing, or your higher power works through the plant, or how did it work?
Yeah, I think it depends, but she's a spirit and she's very, very wise. And because it's multidimensional consciousness, she knows you. She's able to tune into you and show you whatever you need to see. And I don't think any two people have the same experience. For everybody, it's different. Wakes you up. Like, it changed my life big time.
Oh, wow. So when you say she's a spirit, you're talking about the plant?
Yeah, she's like a teacher.
Okay. We are definitely getting noise interference, which all my people with like channelers and light people, this happens every time. I'm just thinking, oh my God, the editing, here it comes. Wow. You hear that?
Yeah, there's like a crazy thunderstorm outside.
That's actual thunder?
Uh-huh.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and lightning. So
wow. Okay.
crazy energy.
I love rain. And there's a hurricane that's about to hit my hometown in North Carolina. So,
Oh, really?
yeah,
Wow.
this is an interesting energy time. Okay, so I always ask everybody, did you have an experience that stood out for you as a child that kind of indicated that you were a little bit different, or was it all laying dormant until this ayahuasca?
Well, there were a few actually when I was growing up. The first one I remember profoundly because for me it was so real, but nobody believed me. It was when I was lying in my bed at night. I woke up and there were these fairies just like dancing above me.
Fairies?
And I was, yeah, and I woke my dad up and he was just like, what are you talking about? But nobody believed me. I had like one friend who believed me, but nobody else did.
What do they look like?
They're really beautiful, like it's big. I think there was 3 of them moving around in a circle.
So half a foot tall. So like not even
not even that, like 10 centimeters maybe. Yeah.
That's beautiful. And how old were you?
I think it was about 4.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Everybody said it was my imagination, and that's kind of what I believed until I went for an awakening and I began having similar experiences again. Yeah.
Wait, so you had similar experiences after your awakening? And do you feel like it was your Kundalini awakening?
Yeah. So I went for a Kundalini awakening. Like I saw the Kundalini rising through my chakras.
You did?
And yeah, I didn't know what it was until like 2 years later. So I was in a very destructive path and I kind of needed that to wake me up. It was because I had many, many signs. I could feel this multidimensional guidance coming through, but I didn't want to face it. I didn't know how. So I just continued along this path of self-destruction until I reached a point where I was like rock bottom. And then my Kundalini started awakening and I started having all these physical symptoms where like I would go to bed at night and my whole body would vibrate and I would have the most painful headaches. And then this kind of led up for about 2 months to my Kundalini rising, where one night I saw like my whole body was like vibrating more than it had done any other nights beforehand.
Oh my gosh.
I was like in sleep paralysis, so I couldn't move. And then the Kundalini just like erupted through each chakra into my third eye. And I didn't know what it was because I didn't have a spiritual background or spiritual parents or anything. But like what I did know is it was spiritual. And it kind of opened the door to a whole other realm.
So you could see it, you could feel it coming through. Like you could literally feel it and going through your chakras. That's incredible. So what did you have for breakfast after that? Where you're just like, I joke with a friend. He had the same experience in a yoga class. I mean, he literally had it in a yoga class. And then I was like, well, what did you say to people? Like, polish my throne and get my slippers ready. You know, like we just joke about it. But what do you do immediately after your Kundalini awakens? Like just carry on?
Well, well, it happened at night. So I passed out because it was like in the space between asleep and awake. So like sleep paralysis, and like when it exploded into my eye, like that's the last thing I remembered.
Wow.
Until like the next morning when I woke up, and I didn't tell anybody. I didn't tell anybody for about 3 years.
Wow, really?
I thought people would think that's crazy. Yeah. I didn't know what it was for 2 years myself. So.
And then how did you figure it out? Were you just talking to somebody and they were like, oh yeah, that's what that was?
Yeah, so I was at a conference and there was this Kundalini master on stage and he was talking about the Kundalini and I was like, that's what happened to me.
Well, for people who don't know what it is, how would you explain it?
So the Kundalini is like an energy system that we all have within us and it lies dormant at the base of our spine. And it's like a snake. You've got like 2 snakes. One is the feminine, one is the masculine. Like the feminine is the left side of the body, it's the right side of the brain. Masculine is the right side of the body to the left side of the brain. Did I get that right? Right side. And it basically rises up through each chakra when it awakens and moves into the third eye and around your body in a torus field. But it opens up for so many people new perceptions and ability to communicate with the other realms.
That's so cool. Okay, so I want to ask you, that's so beautiful. What is the Ufology World Congress? How would you describe that?
So this was an adventure, a life-changing experience. And this actually came about after ayahuasca guided me to Barcelona. So I met my soulmate, one of my soulmates. And about 2 months later into our relationship, he said to me, do you want to organize the Ufology Congress? And I was like, yeah, let's call it the Ufology World Congress. And it just kind of went from there. Oh my gosh, I didn't know what I was getting into. I'm still like trying to integrate it all, still processing it all, because it was life-changing in so many ways. Like, you meet so many people, like the experiences that are all connected to it. Yeah.
Well, okay, so I'll just say for people who don't know what it is, from the website, it says the Ufology World Congress unites internationally renowned ufologists, researchers, whistleblowers, teachers, and speakers from around the world in both English and Spanish, presenting groundbreaking information in the field of ufology. Again, it was
Yeah. So it's a project for disclosure, bring together multiple nations to speak about ufology and consciousness. So a really beautiful project.
Yeah. And it's still going on, and people can still go, right? It's annually?
I don't know when the next one's going to be, but yeah, potentially. I think it'd be good for there to be a third one. Yeah.
Okay, so there's been two. Okay, so
yeah.
How did you, because it's all about UFOs, ETs, how did you get into that?
Well, I've always had an interest in ETs, but I think it was like one of those things after leaving university, these synchronicities opened up for me, and I was kind of led this journey where it was just like secret space programs, extraterrestrials, like all of this ufology stuff. And I began having memories before I incarnated into the planet of me like making a promise to assist extraterrestrial disclosure, being like one of the first things I could do here when I wake up. So yeah, big soul contract there. And like so many levels, like so deep.
And so who were some of the people that stood out when you, because I know you spoke too, so I want to hear about what you spoke about, but also who were some of the people that really stood out to you that were life-changing, game changers for you?
It changed from year to year. So I guess the first year was like secret space program. So like people like Corey Good and Laura Eisenhower.
Really?
Yeah. So they are whistleblowers for the secret space program, which is so deep. I mean, you know about the program?
I do. I mean, we don't have to get into that here because we're talking about other stuff, but I just wanted to throw out some names for people who haven't heard about it. So Corey Good, Laura Eisenhower. Was it just opening it up for you, all of this stuff? Like, were you just learning about it as the Congress was happening?
Yeah. So for me, like when it was first presented to me, I'm kind of like, okay, really? Like there's bases on Mars, really? But then it was just like synchronicity after synchronicity after synchronicity. And then like, even after this Congress has happened, I'm still kind of, I was in Glastonbury sitting and thinking about it, like, okay, are there actually these bases in space? And I'm literally sitting at a table having coffee, and this lady comes down and sits next to me, and she starts talking about the space programs and she being involved in them. And I'm just like, oh my God, this is confirmation, like it is happening. But
so
yeah,
we're talking about,
so like, sorry, what were you going to say?
Well, we were talking about underground space programs. We're talking about activity that, on the moon, on Mars, that's kind of what brought me into all this is when I started reading about it and I started listening to people like Corey Good and Dr. Greer. It was just like, wait a minute, all of this is happening and it's being hidden. It's just a huge thing to hide that we have neighbors, and that we're visiting and we're being visited. And it was mind-blowing to me. It was really mind-blowing to me. And then it's like, okay, well, if this is hidden, then what else is being hidden? It's just, it opens up a whole world. Why is this, to you, an exciting time to be alive?
Wow. It's the ascension. It's the return of love consciousness. It's accelerated expansion, infinite potential, golden time. Really, really beautiful time. Really, really beautiful times. Yeah.
So people talk about the golden age. What does that mean, the golden age, to you?
You have the Great Year Cycle, which is a 25,800 year cycle. The area of this cycle that Earth has just moved into, the frequencies of consciousness are vibrating at a much higher rate. The frequency of the atmosphere is love consciousness, is joy, is peace. And Gaia, the spirit of this planet, is ascending with her physical body into this frequency. So that means like her physical vessel vibrating at the frequency of love. And this is the new planetary vibration. So it's golden because it is just so orgasmic. It's amazing. Like our potential is, amazing.
What do you think is possible when you say our potential?
Well, last time we were building pyramids. We were building more than pyramids, like golden age civilizations are all balanced, are all abundant, are all prosperous, are peaceful, are harmonic. We are all healers. We can do things. We can all walk on water. Like, it's also the return of Christ consciousness. Christ is the frequency given to this area of the solar system, this love consciousness. Everything like Jesus is said to have done, that is our natural vibration in our coming future. Like the whole of humanity being able to do those sort of things, those miracles.
So just for people who don't know, when you say the last time we did this, can you kind of give us set the setting? Where are we? How many years ago was it? Are you talking about like Lemuria, like before the flood? Can you kind of give us an idea of when this last happened?
So the last golden age is Lemuria. And then you had Atlantis after that. And then Egypt also. Egypt is the remains of the last golden age.
Speaking to people who don't know, I mean, I read about this, you live in this, but I'm just trying to translate it for people who are kind of like just finding out about it. So you think that, because I talked to Freddie Silva, I had him on, and he talked about the pyramids, and he was saying that the technology of the pyramids, when you walk in, is built so that it connects with your body, like things like that. So can you give me sort of examples of things that they could do in the golden age? Like you're saying, walk on water like Christ, but also just other examples.
Yes, so harnessing Earth's natural energy, so not relying on things like electricity, being able to create free energy using the planetary grids and the ley lines. My understanding is how the pyramids worked was using these energy points where the ley lines cross. I think in connection with the stars also. So there's all that wisdom in how we can use technology to enhance our quality of life, but conscious technology, so not electrical. It's the technology of consciousness.
So it's kind of like blending science, metaphysics, and consciousness all together, right?
Yeah, it all unifies as one. Yeah.
It's interesting because we have metaphysics now. We know that a particle can change back into a wave and back to a particle. We know it like on a very minute scale. It's so hard for people to believe that ETs even exist. And I think that one of the reasons is because that it's hidden, or so I've heard from other people, is that the first question is how did they get here, and then the second question is why don't we have that technology? What is that technology that they're using? But they say in the future, our technology, like what you're saying, is science is going to blend with consciousness, and we're going to be able to travel that way. And then also too, that what you're saying with free energy and the grids, it's fascinating that that's here, and it's fascinating that people like Nikola Tesla he's not anywhere in our. He was kind of playing and tapping into that, but we don't see him in our books growing up. So it's interesting, right? So right. So I want to hear
the Matrix.
What's that? The Matrix,
Yes.
Crazy. So in terms of moving and going to fifth density, do you feel like you're already doing that, you personally?
Yeah, it's the transition. I'm here to assist. So the fifth dimension is the frequency of love consciousness. And it's a gradual process, ascension into this dimension. So it's a gradual process of raising our frequency. What I do is, my mission is to every day raise my vibration, but then to also facilitate other people in raising their vibration also, and upgrading our DNA. We've got fifth dimensional consciousness encoded in our human being because it's where we came from. It's a matter of awakening what is within us into our physical vessel.
So basically you're saying fifth dimension love consciousness is inside our DNA.
Yeah.
It's just dormant.
Yeah. Well, like, if you think about it, we came from the Pleiadians, who are in the fifth dimension. And we've also got the Lemurians, who are also fifth dimensional consciousness, as our ancient ancestors. This is where we come from. So we have that consciousness within our DNA, and we can awaken this within us. I'm actually releasing a writing on it this week.
Oh, really?
To assist people in tuning into this wisdom within us and harnessing it and bringing it forth into our bodies, because it is a process.
Why is it dormant?
Because our consciousness fell. We moved from fifth dimension into third dimension.
Mm.
Our physical vibration fell also.
So do you feel like babies, when they're born, that they're tapping into it? How does that work? Because they always seem a little bit more joyful than the rest of us.
Yeah, so babies are very aligned. They've got, because they love it, we're all love at our core,
Mm-hmm.
but babies are focused into that alignment,
Mm-hmm.
and children too. And this is the process of ascension, focusing back into alignment with the love at our core, into alignment with joy, into alignment with play. I mean, we get conditioned from quite a young age, from when we go to school really, but also maybe a bit beforehand with our parents, to focus away from our intuition, away from our play. But our alignment, our natural state of being is this frequency of joy, it's this frequency of play, it's this frequency of love. And although like fifth dimensional consciousness is love, our physical vessel is to do with our physical vessel also, aligning physically in the light body with this consciousness,
And
the ability to move through dimensions.
How do you do that? How do people do that?
It's all a big experiment. My understanding is like you just got to focus into feeling better and better, raising your vibration, expanding your consciousness through your spiritual connection, and using the wisdom within our DNA, summoning it forth, and we begin to ascend in that way. It's a matter of raising our frequency, but also moving into the now, because fifth dimension or consciousness is all now. Time in the fifth dimension is non-linear. So everything is in that point of now, which is where meditation is such a powerful tool and a necessity in the ascension, because it brings us into that point of now. Mindfulness meditation in particular, where we're in the present moment, where we're conscious of the now.
Yeah,
Did you catch that?
I did. I mean, my brain just goes in 15 different ways, because we do live a linear life, because I mean, you have to wake up. Most people go to a job, they've got to, they got to eat 3 meals or whenever they eat, and go to bed at a certain time. The sun rises at the same time, so things do happen, in a linear fashion, but then we're supposed to stay completely present within each moment and not think about the past, not think about the future. It's challenging.
Well, ideally, like, you don't want to be tied down to a job. You want to be creating from your inspired action. And I mean, like, your job, your service is so important. It's why you came. But having the freedom to move through each day through how you feel.
So what type of advice would you give people there? Because I mean, it's fascinating to me to see people really embrace their gifts. You're teaching workshops and light language, and it's fascinating to me that, you pay all your bills, everything, you pay your rent or your house mortgage, whatever. Because we're so trained, make good grades and then go to a good college and then get into a good job and stay there. But, I'm in the transition personally where I'm trying to go from that to using my gifts and talents to help other people and not be locked down into a 9-to-5 environment, because it's soul crushing, honestly, for me personally. And so what type of advice would you give people?
To follow your joy, because ultimately your joy, follow your excitement, follow what makes you happy, because this ultimately leads you into alignment with the reality you wish to create, because the reality you wish to create feels good, and if you're following your feelings, they guide you into alignment with that manifestation. And that can be a process of leaving a job, creating a new job, a new way to support yourself, but prioritizing how you feel.
So what are some of the things you do during the day? Like, what does your daily routine look like?
So I wake up and I like to go for a run or a fast walk, depending on how I feel. But it's really important that I feel good. So if I don't feel like running, I would just be peaceful, maybe meditate, and then I'll do some yoga, just so my body is in a good feeling place. But always having fun. Like, sometimes I would just get on the yoga mat and do like one stretch because I don't feel like doing more. Sometimes I'll be on there for an hour, but it's just giving yourself that permission to enjoy. So important. And then throughout the day, whatever I have to do, I make sure I enjoy it. And if I'm not enjoying it, I will put it off and go do something else that is more fun until I feel like doing that. Because when you're doing something and you're in that state of joy, what you're creating is that same vibration. And then suddenly life becomes joyful. If you make this your path each day of having fun, enjoying life, then this is the reality that surrounds you.
Now, how do you do that when you're on hold with self-help or with customer service? Do you guys have to deal with customer service in Spain?
I don't really know. I mean, like sometimes you just find a way to enjoy. Like I might be channeling light language, doing a bit of drawing, just using your mind, getting creative with your mind. And I mean, you can put it on hold, maybe dance around to the music or whatever. Just keeping that vibration.
Well, I do feel like whenever I tell a joke or make light of something, like the person on the other line is always grateful because they're probably they probably need it more than I do because they're talking to people all day. Frustrating technology. Well, so with the channeling, your channeling, it says on your bio that it came through art at first in symbols. What were the symbols that you were drawing?
Well, I mean, the channeling, initially it came through me hearing. So I was having communications for about 3 years before I began doing the light language.
Oh, really?
But yeah, and it was actually following this ayahuasca ceremony that sent me to Barcelona that I began channeling these symbols, light language. And I was doing this for about 1.5 years, and then it opened up to vocalizing the light language.
When you were drawing these symbols, how did you figure out what they were?
Well, I don't always know what they are. I mean, like, there's been times where I have had to stop drawing because I felt like sick, because it really kind of bends my perceptions on reality. Like I'm just like moving my hands like this, and all these faces are coming through, like these little ascended masters and the symbols, and I'm just like, I didn't mean to draw that. Like it's drawing itself. And the whole process has been very awakening. It's like opening the material of this universe. I mean, like what I've been told by my guides is it can be used for things like porthole technology. It can be used to build spacecrafts and do all sorts of amazing things. Its potential is unbound.
So, okay. I just think of like Narnia when she looks in the closet and there's another dimension in there.
Yeah.
Like a childhood story.
Yeah. That's literally what I used to compare my awakening to when I first woke up. Like,
really?
Back in 2013. That's the only way I could describe it, because it is like discovering a whole other world.
I know. And I'm like, how does she pay her bills? Because I would just want to live there. It would be hard for me to ground and come back. Yeah. So, okay. So when you're, what were you going to say?
So I was going to say, but like, when you commit to that path, then you're fine doing this work. If you're in service, in love, then it opens for you. The universe supports you.
But okay, let's go back to peering into other dimensions. What do you see? What are you looking at? Like just one example.
I see a lot of sacred geometry.
Yeah.
A lot of sacred symbology. So I see a lot of the Eye of Horus and Metatron's cube also, but Metatron's cube over the flower of life.
Metatron is an archangel, correct? Like my Metatron.
Yeah, but you've got Metatron's cube, which is sacred geometry, and this forms the physical world around us. You get the platonic solids from Metatron's cube, which form the elements. Cube? The platonic solids.
The platonic
sacred
solids.
Platonic solids. It's sacred geometry. It's how the physical world is formed. Very fascinating. Yeah. If you get the chance to have a look.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to dive deeper into that.
Opens the door, yeah.
Oh my gosh. So you're seeing symbols, you're seeing sacred geometry symbols.
I see angels, the guardians also, many different things. It's completely unbound what they show you, but they show you whatever you need to see.
Are you seeing this in meditation, or you're seeing this just walking down the street?
Well, it depends. Like as I expand my consciousness more and more, as I continue to awaken, I'm sharing different things. My clairvoyance strengthens. Can be when I'm walking down the street, can be when I'm having conversations with people, can be when I'm in meditation or like going to sleep as well, in my dreams.
Okay, so
Yeah,
the
divine
first time you
timing.
saw a face when you're talking to somebody, did you scream? I mean, freak you out?
Well, no, not really, because something they told me was you will never ever be presented with something you're not ready for. Because before, like, when I began having communications when I was 19, like it came through my computer first. I mean, that freaked me out because, yeah, I mean, it was like angels. I had angels and demons like speaking to me through my computer. They'd come in through the radio and go, and they'd say what they needed to say.
Oh my
And
God.
this assisted me in awakening to these other realms. Like the angels were really beautiful because they're love and they made me feel safe. But the demons, that was terrifying. And I guess since then, I don't get scared. You know, like it's been a gradual process. In meditation, it began with like lights behind my back. I'd see a bit of light and then it expands. Yeah.
So what would the demons say? And was it just a voice?
Yeah, it was basically, well, I think it was an entity. It was this entity that was getting me to wake up, getting me to focus back to love. And this is what the darkness taught me, is I can choose where I focus. Since then, I've never encountered any more demons. All is unity, and I can choose whatever reality I wish to be in.
So you can go towards the darkness, or you can go towards the light. Just like Carol Ann in Poltergeist, when she gets stuck in the TV.
I haven't seen that. What is it, a film?
It's called Poltergeist. It's a terrifying movie. I saw it when I was a child, and she goes into the TV and gets stuck, and you just keep hearing the radio sound, like, you know. And this woman, she comes into the house, and she's like this kind of freakish looking woman. I shouldn't talk bad of her. She's passed on. The actress has passed on, but she just goes, you know, walk towards the light, Carolyn. And it's just, you know, you see that as a child. It's absolutely, to this day, the scariest movie I've ever seen. And I and then freakish thing happened like the tale is, or the myth is that things happen to that kid too. So it's like crazy. So you chose the light. So I guess the meaning is choose the light. Okay, so I want to hear about and then I'd love to do some of this light language if you're up to it.
Mm-hmm.
Who's talking to you? Like, who are you channeling? What are you channeling? Tell us a little bit about that.
They go by the name E. This is our dominant frequency, but there's many beings here working through me. We have the Ascended Masters, the Guardians of Gaia too, but they're these beings of love, ultimately serving the source, ultimately speaking for the source. Yeah.
So the Guardians, the Lemurians, and you said, did you say Chiron too? Chiron?
Oh, Cryon.
Cryon.
Yeah, Cryon's in the mix. Yeah.
He's in the mix. So do you, you're like a DJ, like,
oh yeah, it's going to be so fun when they get on the deck. Seriously. Wow.
So there's many of them, they just pop in, like one's like, hey, I'm going to add this. Like they're all just like making a mixtape in there.
Yeah, but it's basically like that, yeah.
Okay.
But like, I got to keep my frequency high, so they come through at that frequency also.
So what do you do? Just drink juice all day? How do you do that?
Exercise really helps. Eating a high vibration diet, but also my intention, moving into the heart, bringing love into the body, expanding the light.
Do you eat meat?
No.
No, silly question.
No, it's a good question. I used to, but yeah, it was one of the first things they told me to give up.
Oh, really?
Mm.
Okay. All right. So should we just do this? I mean, should we just do the thing? Okay. And what do you call it? You say you call it light language.
Light language, or the language of light.
Language of light. You're just like beaming. You're just like you are a ball of light. It's just like, I don't know. You always want to laugh or giggle just talking with you. Like,
I'm a reflection of you.
It's all right. All right. I'll take it. So, okay. So, oh my God, it's like giggly. All right, so we'll just do this. You just do your thing, and then I'll just witness. Cool.
You might want to close your eyes. You can open your eyes if you want, but just relax.
Okay, we're supposed to.
It's a healing.
Okay. All right, cool. I'll do that.
Iana sume, aruma kayane, aluma, sianu, aruma, kayanu. Ruma kai ana, aruma suma kai, atume, ayanu, aruma kayanu, aluma sumana, ki ana tume. We have a message for you today, aruma kai ana suma, to assist you along your way. Iana kume, aruma kayanu. Siana kume, aruma kayanu. Like language is the language that your language is ascending into. Iana kume, aruma suma kai. It elevates your frequency. Iana kai, aruma suma kai. We speak in rhythm and harmony because this is the frequency of us you see. We are synchronicity. Iana kume, aruma sumana. We love you unconditionally. Iana sumaka ume. We are you see. All is unity. Iana kume, aruma kayanu. Peace on earth is the new planetary vibration. Uma kai, Gaia's physical destination. Iana suma kai. This is a celebration. Iana kuma ka ume, aruma sumana atume. We are light for you to see. We wish you peace.
Oh, wow.
Did you enjoy?
Yeah, I did. That was awesome. So they're just basically, this is what we're doing.
Yeah, I guess so. It was crazy. I had no idea I'd be doing this work a few years ago.
Yeah.
But life has all sorts of surprises in store.
Thank you for doing that. Let me just say that. Thank you.
De nada,
Yeah.
sister.
I appreciate it. When you do workshops with people, like I know you just came back from Spain, and not you're in Spain. You just came back from, I'm like a little dizzy right now. Like when you came back from, was it Montserrat? Or how do you pronounce the mountain that you go to?
Montserrat, yeah.
Montserrat. Why is that place special, and what are you doing there? Or what do you do there?
So Montserrat is a very special location for the ascension. Montserrat it's a temple for the greatest masters to have walked the planet. It is a key bridge for planetary ascension, a key nodal point. Many ley lines cross here, and the frequency is very, very high. And fifth dimensional consciousness is preserved within the mountain face. From the information that has been shared with me, it was a key point in the last golden age, and once again it will be again in this golden age, where a city of light is surrounding Montserrat, which is a fifth dimensional city that is a destination of physical ascension, where Barcelona is home to one of these cities, and Montserrat is like a key nodal point and bridge into this physical destination.
When you say city of light, what do you mean? Like a fictional city of light? Is that like an invisible city, or what is that?
So it's a city in the fifth dimension upon Gaia, and because Gaia, she's ascending at this time, and in the fifth dimension all is now, so there is already the city of light there. It's already here. What we are doing now as a planet is the physical ascension, so we're integrating with this dimension where the physical vessel of Gaia and our human bodies is moving into this frequency of light. And there are certain places in the planet that have these cities of light, and Barcelona is one of them.
Like an energy field of light?
Yeah, so like, have you seen pictures of Atlantis or Lemuria?
Yeah.
Like depictions of that. So it's similar to that. So you'll have like pyramid technology.
So they're thinking that that place they will eventually integrate with the field that's there, the energetic field, and then in the future we'll build certain things that resemble pyramids and technologies that we had in the past. Okay. When you just did the light language, who did you feel come through?
They come together as it's like our frequency. You can see it like a vortex. It basically goes to the source, like and channels down through the different dimensions, the different universal planes also that I have counterparts on. So it's like my oversoul speaking through frequency.
Okay. And how many dimensions do you think that you're in right now?
All the way to the source. I feel we all are. We exist on all dimensional planes.
Simultaneously.
Yeah, because, you can expand it out to unity consciousness. We are all one. So I am you, you are me. Like, we are unity. So we are all dimensions. We are all numbers. We are everything.
Okay. That's a lot to wrap your brain around. All right. So I guess, I don't know, anything else you want to impart? Anything else you want to say?
This is the golden age. Welcome. Woo!
You definitely make it sound exciting.
It's so exciting.
And you're just always happy? Are you always happy? Or do you ever have like a bad day? Or are you just tuned to, just constantly tuned towards positive vibration?
Well, recently I've just been finding myself more and more in this frequency. I do sometimes have bad days, but like I'm very quick to bounce back because I understand, like, if I find myself in that space, how to move back into that good feeling state, and it's through playing. It's like the inner child. Yeah, like when you're a child, you're always looking to have fun. You're always looking to play. And say you fall over, you might cry for a bit, but then you get back up and then you're playing again. You're having fun. You're feeling good. This is like my spiritual practice. It's that state of being that I'm constantly reaching to align with. So moving back into that state is just easier and easier.
Just have a sense of play. Just have fun.
Yeah.
That's literally. Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, I love talking to you. I'm so excited that I met you at Contact in the Desert. And thank you for all the work that you're doing, and also for being such an example, because I have to say, like, I've seen a transformation just on Facebook. Like, I'm, obviously we're in different countries, but I've seen you to like really open up like more and more and more. When I first got to Contact, I couldn't believe that people put that they believed in extraterrestrials on their Facebook. I was like, are you insane? And now I'm doing a podcast and interviewing people about it. And it's because people like you that I saw are just free to be yourself, and like seeing others, like even if it's on Facebook talking about this kind of stuff, and not be afraid, because we are, in the matrix, if you will. And I think the thing that I've had to come across, or I've had to fight personally, is, like wondering what people are going to think. Like, if you talk about you believe in extraterrestrials, like, I met a woman at the last Contact in the Desert, and there we were in a safe space talking about it. And she was whispering, like somebody's going to hear her, or, you know what I mean? There's a lot of fear around it. And, and so it's nice to see examples. And then all of a sudden you're doing this light language where you're really exposing yourself, like putting yourself on the internet. And so you never cared about it. You were just like, I'm just going to do this, and whoever likes it, and whoever doesn't can go watch TV.
Well, I guess it was like my mission. I kind of, not really. It kind of excited me. Yeah, not really.
Oh man,
it's fun. I've got a background as an artist, so I guess I've been prepared for it. But yeah, it's fun. But I understand. Like, I mean, like in my first years at university, actually, I didn't tell anybody really.
Nervous.
But yeah, I realized like how much fun it is to share. And the people you meet as well when you share, like everybody matches that vibration, and suddenly, like I don't even see the matrix anymore. Everybody is just kind of vibing in this frequency, and we're always having consciousness expanding conversations, and it's new earth. It's
That's beautiful.
Conscious community. Yeah,
that's really beautiful. I had my Sunday, this past Sunday, I had a brunch with people who were like, oh, you know, we all came together. We talked for 3 hours, and then dinner, same thing. And, you know, time just flies when you're talking about this stuff, which is part of the reason why I'm doing this podcast. And funny enough, we were in the same restaurant. So I basically was in that restaurant all day.
Yeah.
It was vegan. But I have to ask you before we go, who is this that you painted on the right? Who's behind you? It's like a woman with like...
this is one of the guardians that I work with. This is Chu Mira. Although, like, she's represented like this, she represents like a whole kind of council of light. They don't have a physical form because she's 7th dimension. So she's like a cluster of consciousness, but this is her expression she wants to be seen in.
Oh, wow.
But,
what's her name again?
Tamura.
Tamura, wow.
Sometimes you hear her in the channelings.
Oh, wow. Well, I always say wow too much on my podcast, but that's really how I feel. I'm just, I keep getting more and more blown away by people. So it's just a big wow happening over here. But anyway, I want to thank you. I really enjoy talking to you. I could talk to you forever. And I'm so excited to see you grow and expand even more. And I definitely want to come at some point to one of your like sacred ceremony things in Montserrat, Spain. Like I can't.
Yeah.
I mean, do people see things, or are they seeing Lemurians? Are they feeling them, or is it just all different? What happens in these sacred ceremonies?
Well, it's different for everybody. Everybody has their own unique experience. So you're showing whatever you need to.
Okay, cool. All right.
Yeah. Well, I want to say thank you also. Like seeing you transform too is amazing. The fact that you're stepping up and doing this work is so inspirational. Like you're shifting so much consciousness. You should be so proud of yourself.
Well, good. Well,
so thank you for your light.
Thank you.
Really.
It's good to hear that. Appreciate it. Yay. Well, look at us doing good stuff.
Ooh, high five.
High five. There you go. All right. Well, you have a beautiful rest of your day. I just appreciate you so much, and thank you.
I love you, my sister.
You too.
You have a beautiful day as well. Thank you too.
Thank you. All right. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, so that was my interview with E. She's just a total ball of light, complete joy. I guess if there's anybody I've ever met who's embodied the whole follow your joy, follow your bliss, she'd be the one. And maybe there is something to that. I really want to go to one of her workshops in Montserrat. I want to see things coming out of a mountain. Are you kidding? If you want to follow her, or you want to check her out, you can do so at facebook.com EllieLight08, and Ellie is ELLIE, Light, LIGHT 08. She just did an Equinox retreat, a ceremony of light. She just did the Open Heart Festival. She's going to be a little light rock star. Here we go. So I hope you had fun. Thank you for joining me. Check out E, especially if you're in Spain. And if you go to Montserrat and you see things coming out of that mountain, let me know.